So it's a Friday afternoon, and we're in about week 9 for most people on stay-at-home orders or work from home or life being dramatically different. Most people have lost their sport or their activity or whatever it is that they are super passionate about and have sort of been resigned to change everything about their routine and what they want to do. So something that I have been talking to quite a few people about, and a lot of struggles that people are expressing, is who are they without their fill in the blank. So for a lot of the people who might watch this, it would be, who are you without roller derby? There's a very high likelihood that most people will not play a single competitive game of derby this year. For some people who might be watching this, it could be, who am I without CrossFit? Now, I'm talking more about the sport of CrossFit. So those CrossFit competitions, maybe even just all the online competitions might go away, whatever. So there are a lot of changes when it comes to that competitive side of CrossFit that have also happened this year. Add to that all of the other fun sports that we like to watch, or it could be weightlifting, anything. So who are you without your sport or your passion? And for some people, especially I would say a lot of the females in our sport, or people who generally have sort of been put into a box and they found roller derby or they found their sport and it took them out of that box, right? It can be very depressing to feel like you've been forced back into a box without it being your choice, right? Roller derby, CrossFit, weightlifting, powerlifting, these are all sports that traditionally a lot of women probably wouldn't have considered. And now, in this day and age, we get to do things that 30, 40 years ago, most people wouldn't have even dreamed of doing. It's pretty awesome. And now many people who were going to practice 3-4 days a week have sort of been resigned to stay at home. For a lot of the moms out there or other people who are not used to being set in a certain role, they have been forced into a role that maybe they were trying to break out of. And it can be very depressing. It can be very psychologically demanding, and it's hard to dig yourself out of that hole, especially when it's taking this long. Like, I really meant it when I said a few weeks ago, I thought this would be like 3 weeks, and like coming up on 3, maybe 4 months of this, and the competitive season for almost everyone I know going away, it's a big pill to swallow. So I had talked about a month and a half ago about finding your new why. And now this is really more in line with, who are you now without your sport? Because for some people it might be over a year before they play a game. Or some people might be like, wow, I really like living the life that I'm living right now without my sport. And that's like a whole paradigm shift. And then you have to readjust everything about who your definition of you is. So what I would just encourage people to do, and retired skaters, retired athletes face this all the time. They go through a grieving period of sort of letting go of the routine that they had, the crazy busy schedule they had, the hormonal shift and the adrenaline they got from going to practice and playing games. All of that goes away like very quickly. And you have to grieve that part of your life and sort of come to a new acceptance about the life that you want to live and that you can live, and turn the adversity into an opportunity and find new ways to channel your energy or focus on strengths or weaknesses that you maybe had been ignoring, right? And for some people, it's really hard to find the positive in a situation like this. And I totally get that. Like, it is very difficult, and you're allowed to grieve. You're allowed to be sad, and it's also totally okay to sort of check out for a little bit. But You don't want to check out of your life completely, and hopefully you don't end up walking away from everything about who you are, because you did enjoy that part of your life and maybe you don't want to let go of everything. So I would just encourage you to try to channel all of this energy, all of this sadness, all of your grieving into a new definition. And it might take you some time to find out what that definition is, but allow yourself to feel all the feels and then try to figure out and really frame the person that you want to be. And when roller derby returns or your sport returns, allow those two worlds to come together. And maybe they don't come together again, and that's okay too. I really think that this is a very rare opportunity for so many people to take stock of their body, their mind, their life, their family, and really see it for what it is without the craziness of the schedule that most of us live. And just try to enjoy it for what it is. So, in summation, grieve the life that you were living, accept the new life that you have, and then find a new way to grow into the life that you want to live. And focus on going in that order, and don't try to rush anything if you're not ready. Because once you start to really accept and then figure out who you want to grow into being, it could be a super exciting and really fun time for you, and maybe revitalize your day-to-day routine.